There's a rule taped under the front desk of the motel where I work. Not printed, not laminated. Handwritten, in pen that's gone brown at the edges. It says, Room 7 is not rentable. If the board shows it checked in, do not go down there. Do not knock. Log it and wait for morning. I worked there for 9 nights. I made it 8 before I went down that hall. I really wish I'd just waited for morning. So, let me back up. I'm 20, I'm broke, and in February I took the only job that would have me. Night audit at the Blue Pine Motel. 40 minutes from the nearest town, right where the old highway dies into the new one. 18 rooms. Half of them haven't had a guest since the bypass opened. The pay was bad, the hours were worse. 11 at night to 7 in the morning. Alone. But alone was the whole appeal, honestly. No manager, no customers most nights. Just me, a desk, and a wall of keys. The guy training me, Marcus, he did the handoff in about 4 minutes. Showed me the card machine, showed me the log, and then he stopped, got quiet, and he tapped the desk right where that note was taped. He said, "Whatever the board does at night, you log it. You don't go looking. Owner's rule. You'll get paid either way." I laughed. I thought it was like a hazing thing, a scary story for the new guy thing. Marcus didn't laugh back. He just picked up his bag and he said, "Don't be a hero for $9 an hour." And then he was gone. And I never saw him at the motel again. The first few nights were nothing. I want to be honest about that, because it's what got me comfortable. It was boring. I did homework. I watched the parking lot fog up. I learned which vending machine eats your dollar. The board, Marcus meant, is this old panel behind the desk. A little light for every room. Green if it's empty. Amber if someone's checked in. Room 7's light was burned out. Just a dead gray square. So I stopped looking at it. Until night 3. I'm at the desk around 3 a.m. and I hear it before I see it. A soft click from the board. I look up. Room 7 is amber. And I know I didn't check anyone in. The lot's empty. The bell never rang. But there it is, glowing, like someone's home. I did what the note said. I wrote it in the log. 0307, room 7, occupied. And I sat there, and I did not move for 4 hours. When the sun came up, the light went back to gray, on its own. I told myself it was a short. Bad wiring, old building. I almost believed it. The next night, I checked the key wall. Every key hangs on a numbered hook. All 18 accounted for. Except 7. Room 7's hook was empty. I told myself the day clerk took it. But there is no day clerk. It's just me and a woman named Donna who does the books on Tuesdays. That's the night the smell started. Wet. Like a basement. Like clothes left in a machine for a week. It came from the East Hall, the hall with rooms 5, 6, and 7, and it would roll in around 3 and roll out by dawn. And then, the water. I'm at the desk, and over the little office speaker, the one wired to the hallway, I hear a shower turn on, full pressure, from down that hall. There is no guest in that hall. I have the only keys. I have 7 of them now because the 8th came back. At some point that night, room 7's key was just back on its hook, wet. I picked it up. It was warm, like someone had just been holding it. I almost quit the next morning. I should have. But I needed the money, and I needed it to have a reason, a normal one. So before my shift, I stopped at the gas station 2 miles up, the only other lit thing on that road. And I'm paying for coffee, and I look at the counter, at the little stack of curled up flyers next to the register. Missing. And I'm not really reading it until I get to the bottom line. Last seen, employed at the Blue Pine Motel. His name was Marcus. The man who trained me. The man who told me not to be a hero. He didn't transfer. He didn't move on. He went missing 11 months ago. 11 months. But he trained me 9 days ago. I shook his hand. I watched him walk out the door. I drove back to the motel with that flyer on the passenger seat, and I pulled the guest log out, the big one, the one that goes back years, and I started flipping. Every few months, a new night clerk, hired. And then, a page or two later, nothing. No notice, no last shift, just a new name starting over. And every single one of them, in their first week, had written the same line in the log. 0307, room 7, occupied. I know how this sounds. I know that the smart thing, the sane thing, was to walk out and never come back. But I think you already know I didn't. Because that night, night 8, the board clicked again. 307, room 7, amber. And this time, I heard the door. Down the east hall, a latch turning, and then a sound I still hear when I close my eyes. Knuckles on the inside of a door. Knock, knock, knock. Patient, like it had all night. I took the master key. I took the little flashlight from the drawer, and I walked down the east hall, and the smell got thicker with every step. And the carpet under room 7's door was dark, soaked through. I put the key in. My hand wouldn't stop shaking, and I told myself, there's a person in there, a squatter, a real human person, and I'm going to open this door, and it's going to be embarrassing and normal. I opened the door. The room was empty, stripped, no bed, no carpet, bare concrete. The window painted black, and on the far wall, there was a painting, a cheap landscape, the kind every motel has. It was the only thing in the room, and it was slowly breathing, moving, in and out. Just slightly. I crossed the room, and I lifted it off the wall. Behind the painting was a hole, cut into the drywall, roughly, by hand, big enough for a person, And in the hole was a room, a second room, in the dead space between 7 and the maintenance wall. A mattress, cans, a camp light, and the walls were covered in paper, hundreds of pages from the guest log, going back years, and taped in the middle of all of them was the note, the original, the rule: do not go down there, wait for morning, in the same handwriting as every page around it. He didn't leave it to warn me about room 7. He was room 7. Marcus never went missing. He just stopped coming out. He'd found the dead space and the empty motel, and an owner who'd rather look away than lose his only night cover. And every time they hired someone new, Marcus trained them. Marcus wrote them the rule, because a clerk who obeyed the rule never opened the wall, never found him. And the clerks who did open it, I turned around. He was standing in the doorway of room 7, between me and the only way out. And he smiled, the way you smile at someone you've already met. And he said, "I told you not to be a hero." I got out. I'm not going to tell you exactly how, because some of that night I genuinely don't remember. And the parts I do, I'd rather keep. I never went back. I didn't get my last check. I didn't ask for it. But here's the part that keeps me up. Last week I was online and I saw it. A listing. Night auditor, Blue Pine Motel. Overnight. Will train. Will train. So if you're out there and you just got hired at a quiet little motel off the old highway, and a nice guy named Marcus shows you the desk and the log and a handwritten rule about room 7, do me a favor. Log it and wait for morning. If it were you, standing in that room, seeing your own handwriting on the wall, what would you have done? Tell me in the comments. I need to know I'm not the only one who would have lifted that painting. Sleep with the lights on.